Hello everyone, and good day to you. This is Roger with Groovis Games Unlimited, and I hope you guys are doing great. You had an awesome weekend, and welcome back to our little unboxing series for kind of like the new editions of Dungeon Crusade. So I hope you guys are doing good. You know, I always appreciate your time, excitement, support, and interest, and I think this is going to be an awesome video. I've been looking forward to this, so let's get right into this. But of course, just thank you so much. It's great to be back here. All right, listen, I'm going to be quick because I know I want to open up the Crusader the Realm Edition. So I'm going to be very quick here with this. Thank you for your nice comments and the likes on the prior video where we took a look at the Crusader upgrade pack. I said a lot in there, so if you want, go ahead and watch the very beginning of that. So I'm just going to do this in a nutshell now so we could get to opening the Crusader of the Realm Edition. The Pledge Manager is open, link in the description, link in the comment section. This coming week, we're going to be reviewing these with some people and then working, of course, with the manufacturer. I'm going to be dispatching a special Kickstarter update geared just for this. You know, the videos that we're doing now are going to be shown. We're going to do a big photo shoot of all the content, and we're going to announce the Pledge Manager will be closing. So I just wanted to make you aware that Pledge Manager is open for late pledging, or if you need the Crusader upgrade pack, if you want any of the add-ons, it is open for a limited time. I'm going to say probably 2 weeks from today, and it's what, like April 7th, 16th, 17th? But we'll have a concrete date when it's closing. So Kickstarter update coming, and I guess let's just get on with this, right? I think that was about it. And so in this video, we're going to take a look at the Crusader of the Realm. I'll describe what's in that one. Next video is going to be the massive Slayer of the Realm. That's the all-in. And then, like I said, to end it all, I have a really good video I'm going to link into this playlist. And it's just something I wanted to do for everyone, to be there right with you when you open the game, teach you how to break everything apart, what stuff means in the game, and recommend a really good storage solution. It's helped a lot of people, so it'd be very appropriate to put it into this playlist. And okay, I think without further ado, let's just get in. Let's get on with this. Let's take a look at everything. And I'll tell you the format once we get everything. So I'm going to clear the Slayer of the Realm out of here, put this front and center, and let's dig into the Crusader of the Realm Edition. Okay, and here we are with the Crusader of the Realm Edition. So let me explain real quick what you get with this edition. With the Crusader of the Realm, of course, you get the base game of Dungeon Crusade, which is very girthy. There is a lot of stuff. And I think that I should mention that in the Slayer of the Realm, you of course get the base edition of Dungeon Crusade. And I just want to make sure that you guys know the base copy of Dungeon Crusade is the same thing in both editions. You know, you don't get anything extra with the base edition. You know what I mean? Like, of course, there's all the add-ons and all that. But, you know, the base game of Dungeon Crusade is the same in each one. You know, there was nothing taken out, so you'll get extra loot cards or because of this edition. Hopefully, I made that very clear. So in this edition, you get the base copy of Dungeon Crusade, but you also get the Avalon Adventure board game with this particular edition. So this would be for someone, you know, maybe you just want to get your feet wet with the game, but then maybe you want to get the double dungeon expansion with this, you know, with Castle Blackwood and the Cavern of Lost Souls, and maybe the Hero expansion pack. That's what people seem to get, those two expansions with this game. And of course there's the monster difficulty decks and all that, and a few other things. So I just wanted to point that out. This is what you get, and you'll see it's going to be a lot of stuff. Okay, so let's get on with this. And of course, if you have any questions, just put it into the comment section. And you know what, like I've said so many times, I listen to fans of the game, my extended family, and you know, any kind of issue with the game I wanted to address. You know, I want you guys to have the best experience possible. I worked with the amazing Ilpo and Charlene, the tech writer, revised rulebook, revised combat system. There's the classic and revised combat system, scalable difficulty, reference card, solo Crusader mode, Any kind of issue was tweaked. The game has been perfected and honed. And I'll say it for the umpteenth time. I'm just very happy with where the game is at for you guys. Okay, now let's open this thing up. And I think I'm just going to point the camera down. Maybe we'll take a look at that real quick for you. It's a Crusader of the Realm. And, okay. Okay, so let's open it up. So what I thought of this, you know, the cards are all sealed up in plastic. So what I'm going to do is I'll open them briefly and just, you know, shuffle through them. But then I'll stop the video and I'm going to sort all the cards out. And then we'll go through each deck kind of quickly through that. And so I want to say, some people don't want spoilers. You know, you don't want to see all the monsters or what's in the treasure deck. I'll give you an alert before that. You may want to skip over that. Okay? So take the lid off. And remember, these are the production copies of the game. So this is what you will be receiving. We'll put this just right there to the side. And we're not going to open this because we already did. So happy for this, guys. The revised Dungeon Crusade or Crusader's Handbook. You'll get that. You'll get the scenario book. And I'll tell you, I'm going to just touch on this briefly. But I know there's a few videos in the showcase series. You're really going to like this scenario system that I devised for the game. It's just, there's all these different kind of options, what you can tweak. It looks complex, but like I explained in the videos, it's very easy. You basically go down the columns, 6 different difficulties, 3 different game modes. You can just play, you know, novice, easy, normal, so on and so forth. Or you can mix different things. This gives you unlimited replayability with the game. And it's something I know a lot of people like. So I just want to point that out in the scenario book. Here is the Dungeon UI board. This holds a few different decks of cards. There's for the mining deck. And remember, we were looking at the minion movement speed track. That's the new piece of content or feature in the game for the monster phase. So you could mess around with this and give monsters different speeds. There's a few different ways to use this. And like I said, guys, this looks identical to the first print run. I know some people were concerned. I'm telling you, you can probably see just through the video how good it looks in person. It looks even better, okay? There's your Dungeon UI board. Next, the Village board. This holds various tokens. This is where your heroes will have a shopping phase. And when they go to Celebration Day, when they complete their quests, they can visit Blacksmith, Tavern, sell or have power gems created, the Academy to get special abilities, the Temple for blessings, there's a healing fountain, tons of stuff in the Village. And remember, we have that Mercenary Camp board that will be coming up. That kind of goes with that. Because this is the Crusader of the Realm edition, this is called the Battle Board, and you use this for when you're playing the Avalon Adventure board game for when battles break out. So if you're in a dungeon, you use this side, but if you're in an outdoor area, you can use this side. And a local artist, Christian, I met him a while ago and I worked with him and I gave him one of my sketches and we worked together on this. So local artist, Kristen, if you're watching, thank you. And I look forward to working with you in the future on these 2 smaller games I've been working on. So Battle Board, Avalon Adventure board game. And you use your cardboard miniatures and roll dice. So it just kind of sets up the battle like in a 3D kind of battlefield for you, okay? And then Tower Attack. This comes standard. This is the one House of Chance game. There's 4 House of Chance games. The other 3 House of Chance games are in the Pledge Manager if you'd like to add that. But you can just play Tower Attack on every Celebration Day. Hopefully you watched the showcase video and I'm not talking Creek to you, but it's a fun little dice game where you have to push your luck. And reverse on the other side, same thing. And this is the Avalon Adventure board game board for, of course, the Avalon Adventure board game. And let's take a quick look at that for you. Really fun game. Like I said, if you like those fighting fantasy books, Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone, 80s Dungeon Quest and Choose Your Own Adventure, that's actually really exactly what this game is. Unlimited replayability. We're going to take a look at all the adventure cards. And so you play this prior to playing Dungeon Crusader. You don't have to, but it just adds to the theme. I did a ton of world building and lore for the Land of Avalon, and I just wanted to take people through some of the dungeons and the towers and the Tower of the Maidens. It's a really cool, fun little game, and I think you'll really enjoy this. But you can, of course, skip and go right into Dungeon Crusade. But you can find loot, potions, gold, all that in the Avalon Adventure board game. Finally, well, not finally, but for the stuff on top, like I said, I was so happy about this. You get a nice, huge map of the Land of Avalon, and I'm just happy that this is in there for you guys. I wanted to do this before, and it just wasn't possible, so now you get the map of Avalon. Okay? Now we're into the dungeon. With the Crusader of the Realm, you get the Ancient Runes. On the reverse side, you get the Tomb of Caldar, the ultimate death trap dungeon. So we're going to take a look at the dungeon boards real quick if you want. And again, the color, if you think the colors are popping now, wait till you see it in person. So this is part of the Ancient Runes here. That's where the chambers go. Quick note, champion monsters, there's normal and elite. They reside in chambers, and they're usually safeguarding quest tokens. So sometimes you got to find the right key to open up a chamber door. There's a whole key system in the game. So that's what, just to point that out real quick, chambers, this, remember, champion monsters reside in chambers of the dungeon, okay? So there's one of the boards. We'll flip it over. And this is the Tomb of Caldar. And look at that detail. And as a side note, as I said before, Damien Maimaldi, I worked with him. I gave him my sketch for this and actually the Land of Avalon. And Damien was an artist on The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Was RPG Game of the Year in 2015. And I told Damien, it's like, please, can you go really detailed? He went ultra detailed. Look at that. I don't know how these artists do it. They're from another planet. Just incredible detail. So there's part of the Tomb of Caldar for you. And let's stay with the format. So here is more of the Ancient Runes. And guys, the colors here are just magnificent. They look great. So that's the siege tile. Quick note, as we're looking at everything, notice the white dotted line. That's where your heroes start out when you enter into the dungeon. You always put your heroes on the siege tile, and you put them within the white dotted line. Can you see that there? Okay, so there's a little note for you for that. And again, chambers, champion monsters reside in chambers of the dungeon. Very nice. Versus this is again Tomb of Caldar, and like I said, the detail is just off the charts. And you know what? I think one person found him. I asked Damien when we were designing this, I didn't want to know where. I said, can you hide 5 dice? Little dice. So when you get it, try to find the 5 dice that Damien hid. I remember I found 3. I don't think I ever found the other 2. They're very well hidden. So there's a little Easter egg for you. So there's that. Moving right along, here's another, dungeon board. All dungeons in Dungeon Crusade, let me say this, all dungeons are 3 by 2 feet. It's an open world dungeon crawl board game. So 3 by 2 feet, and you're gonna put them together like 3 tiles across by 2. So like 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3 on the bottom. That's how they go together. And like we saw with the revised rulebook, there's diagrams in the back to help you set everything up. You're going to be very pleasantly surprised with the revised rulebook. It just came out great. So there's the Champions Hall quadrant. Another note, remember something. In the dungeon, it's made up of these different quadrants. Quadrants are 6 by 6 squares. There's something I could teach you as we're looking at this. So for example, here's Champions Hall. That's this quadrant. How many squares? 6 by 6. All of them are exactly the same. So right here, the Chapel of Light North, 6 by 6. And this is the patrol route system right here, just real quick as we're looking at this. And this is what gives, I devised this system because I always wanted an invisible AI. So in a way, monsters, you don't have to think for them. You use a special die I created, and monsters will have unpredictable movement patterns. and you'll be surprised how they get around this dungeon. You never have to think what monsters do in this game. I worked a lot on the AI because I designed this from the ground up for the soloist board gamer, but you can play co-op. So, sorry, I just wanted to throw a few of those things in there. Bloody arrows real quick. Raiding minions. If minions raid, there's a whole thing in the showcase series. They follow the bloody arrows to get out of the dungeon. So if they raid the village, you got to move the terror track up. So there's that. We'll take a look at this side. The colors are just amazing. There's the Noxious Viper Chamber, and actually this is one of the environmental hazards. There's 6 of them. When you land on one of these symbols here, you have to refer to what you have to test. It might be willpower, agility, and so that's what the environmental hazards are. I thought there was another one. We'll see another one coming up, but that's like, remember, quadrant. So this is the Noxious Viper Chamber. So see like the red little symbols on the floor? When you're moving, you stop. You can keep moving, but you have to roll the D20, and you can see like these gargoyles are like spewing out this noxious vapor that can damage your hero's essence. And that's what that is. Just incredible. And I wrote a whole story that you can read in the Tomb of Kaladar about Alistair Kaladar, just a character I devised, and this was his home, and he did bad things to people inside this dungeon. So there's that. Moving right along. Here's your other ancient runes here. There's the Tomb of St. Viticus. And when you play the Avalon Adventure board game, there's a location that I created called the Tower of St. Viticus. In the game, in the Avalon Adventure board game, and in Dungeon Crusade, you may run into some NPCs that were descendants of St. Viticus. One of the reasons the game took so long, I just designed or wrote so much lore and world building for you guys to draw you into this. So all of the Avalon Adventure board game and Dungeon Crusade are really tied together quite closely. So there's another thing in the ancient runes, and here is another thing for the Tomb of Kaladar. There's another one of our environmental hazards, Sanctuary of Bats. This quadrant, 6x6, is home to these vampiric bats. So see the symbols on the floor? I think you have to test agility to get out of the way from these bats that may try to bite your hero. So that's another environmental hazard. Like I said, there's 6 of them. But just the detail is there's the Halls of the Damned. Just incredible what these artists can do. And we have 2 more. And here's another one for the ancient runes. There's Ogre's Lair East. There's the Well of Eternity. And so again, I hope you're enjoying this kind of deluxe unboxing. And we just looked at the Chapel of Light north, and there's south. So that one dungeon tile would go like right up here. Well of Eternity. There's actually a quest I wrote that deals with this well right here. So there's that. Flip it over, and there's another Tomb of Kaladar. Look at just the detail of this. Is just, I never get tired of looking at these dungeons. Oh, and there's another environmental hazard, Blackrock Viper Pit. So see the Blackrock Vipers in there? See this? Your hero kind of has to balance themselves when they go across this board, and if they fail that D20 roll, they fall in and will take damage from one of the vipers biting them. And then see the little green arrows? That's where you can put them, depending on where you want to put them. So if they're there, they come out there. They fall in there, they come out there. Real easy. So there's another environmental hazard. Finally, our last board here. And we'll take a look. And this is, of course, the ancient runes. There's the ancient depths. Runes of Hamvir. Ogre's Lair West. So that other panel would go right here because we just looked at Ogre's Lair East. And just really the colors look exactly the same as they did on the first print run. So no worries there. And there's the Pit of Darkness there. Very, very nice. And finally, we'll take a look at this. Oh, and this is a good one. So this is the last one for the Tomb of Kaladar, and another one of our environmental hazards. This is a fun one right here. Oscillating pendulums. Now, look how closely Damien got this. Hopefully that comes up. That? How did he do that? I mean, that's just crazy detail. So what happens is these pendulums are swinging, and when you land on there, you got to roll the d20, and you have to note your hero has to, what is it? It's wisdom. They move in this erratic pattern, so you have to pass that. If not, you take big damage from those oscillating pendulums. So there's another environmental hazard. And I'm glad that I thought of that, so you know kind of now what that is. Another one of Kaladar's torture chamber. Let's look at some of that detail there. It's just crazy. Look at that. Very, very nice. Again, Sean Ellis did the ancient runes, and Damien did this. Just incredible work, gentlemen. And hopefully we will be working more on stuff. Okay, let's get into this here. There is a lot of punch boards in this game. I think we lost one of the coins. Here is your coins right here. Cardboard money is the best. Tracking tokens. And I'm not going to we'll be here all night talking about what all these things are. Well, I'll tell you this. The Guardians, when a Guardian is tracking your hero, those are the big bosses, you got to put a tracking token on them. Okay, there's the reverse side. We'll have to find our other coin. And you know, these things right here, I've got not a lot, but a good amount of messages or emails. What are these things for? They're nothing. They were just something that they put in there, just extra stuff. So you could use these for, I don't know. You can find probably some reason to color those and use them. I don't know. But these are your life force tokens, and here is your damage markers, and they go like 1 to 3 to 5 and all that. Reverse side. Everyone's favorite thing, dungeon doors. There is a ton of dungeon doors in Dungeon Crusade. I think there's 45. Tons and tons of dungeon boards. Here's another punch board right here. More doors. We got some cardboard miniatures. And there you go. Look at that detail. Really nice artwork. Freddie Lopez. He's the lead artist on this new game I've been working on. Freddie is just like my long lost brother. He's just an incredible artist. There's some Blackrock Vipers right there. And so there's that. Tons of other miniatures. Those are Shadow Servants. Or no, I'm sorry, that's a Wraith. There is Shadow Servants here. There's a Shadow Servant right there. Minions. There's Razorfang, one of our Guardians. There's Banevik, another Guardian. There's Nefarian, another Guardian in the game. Lord Blackhand, another Guardian in the game. Leader of the Blackhand Army, another faction I created. So, and just Orc Archers and everything. So hope you like the look of that. Okay, we're getting into quest tokens now. There is a ton of quest tokens. Just tons of different kinds of quest tokens. So you guys could create your own quests. And this will be heavily used for the random dungeon generator I've been working on. So you can see some of the quest tokens that are associated with the various quests in the game. I wrote 60 unique quests, all with stories and everything. So there's that punch board. And here's some of your more quest tokens. Rally, these are the initiative tokens. Warfare tokens here, and yes, these are intentionally blank, and it just goes with the quest system I devised for the game. Every time you play, everything changes. Quest items will never be in the same place. You may go into a chamber. Remember, champion monsters run in chambers, and you're looking for one of the voodoo dolls, and you're going to come up on that. It's not going to be there. It always changes. Everything in the game is randomized, so you'll never know what's going to happen. So there you go. Those are the initiative tokens, warfare tokens, elder globes, green and red. Hopefully you watch the other series to know what those are. And here we have some mystery chambers tokens. Now these are called master tokens. these right here, they're dual-sided. And that's, so there's, this is, raiding for when a minion raids the village when it is escaping the dungeon. Remember those red arrows? That's what that is. More tracking tokens there. Treasure chest tokens. These are for the mining sites in the game. Notice there's mining site A, B, C, and D. And this says this is not a mining site. The mining sites are always randomized every game. Okay, so that's a little bit of that. Next, torches. You have a lit side and an unlit side. And everyone loves potions, right? Quest tokens for your main quest. This goes on your dungeon UI board on the quest tables. Quest table 1, 2, and 3, level. Side quest and kill the guardians quest. And healing potions and elixirs. Elixirs cure afflictions if your hero ever gets an affliction. Ultra juice restores hero's essence, and of course torches. Oops, secret stuff there. I don't want you to know what that is. It's something very cool in the game. You have to find out. And there's crates in the game. Very cool mechanic where you have to put the crates in, and you get to pick something out. You'd never know what's in a crate when your hero smashes one open. Mystery chambers. Yes, there's mystery chambers. Sometimes you're going to enter into a mystery chamber. I'm not going to show you the other side. Something good, bad might happen. You don't know. These are for our secret rooms here. And I want to keep those other things a surprise. Oh, these are elderberry juice tokens. This deals with Celebration Day. I'm not going to show you the rest because I don't want to spoil it. Avalon Adventure board game. Your goal is to find the runes of eternity, green, yellow, and red. You can find rejuvenation potions. When you're looking for the runes, you may find some fake runes, the blue ones. But if you find these, you can cash these in at any time to re-roll any die. And these can be carried over to Dungeon Crusade. And again, these are randomized every game. So it's unlimited replayability. That's the war banner here. This represents all your heroes as you move across the land of Avalon. Guys, I hope you're enjoying this unboxing. I'm having a good time just chatting with you about it. So that, and these are your location markers. So when you leave a region in Avalon, you use one of these so you remember that you were at that location. And it's part of the strategy of the game. You got to plan your route through Avalon. There is some strategy and planning involved in that game. So there you go. That's your punch board for the Avalon Adventure board game. These are monster tokens. And notice like the swirly. Sometimes you won't know. These deal with the champion monsters. Remember something. Let's flip this over. Notice level 2 monster, level 3. Remember this. These tokens, monster tokens, are associated with the champion monsters. Where do champion monsters reside? In the chambers of the dungeon. So these, level 4, it goes up from level 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to look at those cards there. So that's what those are here. So you'll never know. Sometimes, like when you're definitely on a quest, what level monster is in there. I want to say this because I know I'm going to get it in the comments section. When I designed the quest, I had to design them appropriately. So if your heroes are level 1, chance that your heroes will run into maybe a level 1, possibly a level 2 heroes, level 2 monster, chance of a level 3. Finally, when your heroes hit level 3, there's a chance they could run into a level 3 monster or a dreaded level 4 champion monster. And I'm going to tell you something right now, Crusaders of the Light. If you run into a level 4 elite, you better be prepared with all your warfare types. They are tough. Okay, moving right along, more monster tokens here. Notice these locks here. They created this very cool lock picking mechanic for the game. You never know. Let's see, that's the inside of a lock. These are your attempts. You take those D6 right there that are colors, and you have a certain amount of attempts. So like this 3, you have 3 attempts to try to get those numbers when you roll. You can set successive rolls aside, but on your hero card, if they have like +1 to lock picking or +2, you can add that to get more attempts. So like Paloma Rogue, she has a +3, I think, to lock picking at level 1. So she would actually get 6 attempts at it. Some heroes are terrible, and it'll say -1, you have to -1. It's a very fun little game mechanic where you, again, you dip in to like a mug or bag and pull out one of the lock picking things. So you may get an easy lock, you may get a hard one. Crate tokens there. These are your trap tokens. Clear trap, your heroes have stepped on a trap. Traps are always randomized every game. Okay, and what was I going to tell you? That traps are optional. You don't have to play with traps, so just picture like a little difficulty switch. You can use them or you don't have to use them. So if an extra challenge, go ahead and use them. We're getting to still a few more punch boards here. So here's some of the heroes. There's our other guardians there. There's Red Widow. When you get to the Vile Tower, when you see her level 1 monster card, you have to read the story, the lore I created for Red Widow. It's very interesting. There is Horus on his fiery steed. That's the other guardian. There's Dreadthorn, the undead dragon, and that is the toughest monster in the game. That is Magnus, and he is an arch demon from the underworld. I wrote a whole thing about the underworld too. Did I tell you this game's kind of big? Play the Avalon Adventure board game and you will see. There's all your heroes right there. There's little Albus there, upside down, your fetch hound. You send him back to the village to retrieve potions, weapons, and all that. And these are just red marker tokens to mark different things. Finally, okay, we have, stuck in there. Okay, we'll go over this quickly. There's those swirly things again. That's your level 1 champion monsters. Remember, champion monsters reside where? In the chambers of the dungeon. You may run into an empty chamber. Notice that has the swirly thing. Like I said, guys, the quests, everything in this game is randomly generated. So each time you play, you'll have a new experience. I will never design a game where it does not have something like that. I hate crack it and racket games. So there you go. There's the level 1 harvest bread. This is another celebration day gift the villagers can give you for completing your quests. And it tells you right there what it does. Okay, it's a long video. We might have to do a 2-parter for this. I'll tell you what we're gonna do. How about this? I'm probably gonna make a 2-part for this. We're gonna pull everything out, open it quickly, and then part 2, I'll fan through the cards. So it'll probably be a small part, but I don't think I can get everything in here. But let's get going with this. Like I said, this goes kind of with you, put it next to your village board. This is the mercenary camp. This is the new solo Crusader mode I created for people who want to play with 1 hero and their fetch hound Albus, and you use the revised combat system. It's a much quicker game than Dungeon Crusade, but you can hire a mercenary. I wanted to have this little mercenary camp, and you randomly, each quest table, new mercenaries will show up. So there's how you can hire them. If they're level 1 or level 2, level 3. And I love Diablo 2, and that's kind of was my inspiration for having mercenaries in this mode. So there you go, there's your mercenary camp mini board. Kind of thick, not really a board, but it's thick cardboard, double-sided. Tons of stands. This is just, there's just, like 112. But these are for colored ones. The red, green, and blue are for the minions. They're color-coded. There's little crystals on there so you can keep track of them. Clear ones are for your heroes. Purple ones are for the guardians. Black ones are for the chamber doors. But then there's extra colored ones for the keys in the game. Okay, so red, green, blue, and yellow. There's the golden key, yellow, ivory key, blue, the jade key green, and finally the onyx key is red. So like I said, sometimes you're going to have to find a key to open up a chamber door because it'll have that base on it. Very cool little key system and quest system. Tons of dice in the game. The warfare dice are all in there. Red is physical warfare, blue is ranged warfare, green is arcane warfare, purple is mythical warfare, orange is spiritual warfare, black is chaos warfare, and of course then you get all of your different white dice here. With that, D20, we actually have a dedicated D3 in there, so we will be taking a look at those. So you get all the dice. I'm not gonna open up these right now. but I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to do a two-parter for this. So in part 2, I'm just going to set these aside. Right when we start up, I'm going to unpack these, take a look at them, and then I'll put them all in order. So, hey, we want to do an unboxing. I want to make sure you guys see everything. So we'll just do that now. Player aid cards. You're going to get two, well, you get 6 of them, but there's like, kind of like an A and B player aid card. It'll take you through all the phases, the 5 phases: upkeep, guardian phase, upkeep phase, encounter phase, guardian phase, hero phase, monster phase, back to the top of the turn, and then some things to refer to. So these are very handy. Albus, and there's your fetch hound Albus, and all the heroes have backstories. I wrote the one for Albus because I love dogs. So there's Albus. We're going to take a look at this in the part 2. We're going to go through all the hero cards. Albus and the heroes can level up to level 3. So we'll be taking a look at those. These are all the adventure cards for the Avalon Adventure board game. They're double-sided, and I wrote 259 different battles, situations, events, encounters, to really flesh out all the world building and lore. And you'll have fun playing this, exploring the land of Avalon, going into dungeons, to the top of towers, and everything else. So we'll take a look at those in part 2. And here is that's one of the tavern tests there, a ring for Eliza. It's Captain Briggs there. So we're going to open this up. There's, what's that? That's a level 3 minion there. Minions go from level 1, 2, and 3. And what's this? These are recipe cards. Okay, mining and crafting. We're going to open these up, but you can have power gems. Some of the weapons have sockets. And actually, here's some of the loot cards. I'm supposed to be at one with a socket. No. But let's just say that this Academy Shield, there's 193 unique pieces of loot in the game, over 9 rarities. You're going to notice like a round socket. And so from crafting and mining, it's a very simple procedure. You got to find the precious stones, some minerals. Blacksmith will create you a power gem, and you can plug that in to different gear to get some buffs on that. It's a very cool little system, very easy to understand. So we'll be taking a look at that. What's this side? Yeah, there is the loot card. 193 pieces of loot. And what's this thing? Oh, this is for the celebration day. Sometimes your heroes the villagers have gathered together to give the heroes a big thank you. My friend Ruben and other people were like quite annoyed sometimes. They'd get back to celebration day and they didn't get anything good. They got a big thank you. Hey, maybe it's a poor village. So there's those decks of cards. White card clips for your hero cards. So that's what those are for. And then, this is for these are trap cards. There's 17 unique traps. There's tons of other cards in here. And that's every hero has counterattack. And this allows your hero to launch an attack if they're being attacked in the monster phase. You have to activate this, spend 1 essence, and then your hero can try to attack back instead of being attacked by a monster. So we'll go over all that. These are probably all the hero special ability cards. Tons of cards in this game. Mining and crafting. And actually this is the mining deck. We'll take a look at this in part 2. And this mining site is exhausted. We'll get into this, but this is kind of like the safeguard so people can farm a mining site. So it works very, very well for when you're creating your mining deck. But this is like kind of like a break system. So, you can't just sit there and just keep farming a mining site. So we'll take a look at that, but these are your mining cards for mining site A, B, C, and D. And I think this is it. Nope, there's a little, here you go. Oh, affliction cards. I think there's something else. I think the secret room cards are in here. But like I was saying, your heroes can get afflictions. This is a 2nd degree. That's very bad. So they're paralyzed. Right here, unable to roll the green D6 on combat rolls. We'll get into that, but like the there's first and second degree, but first degree for this one, you notice it's arcane, is poisoned. And at the top of every turn in the upkeep phase, your hero is going to lose 1 essence. How do you cure afflictions? I'm not going to dig it out, but with elixir potions. Your hero quaffs it down and they're rid of all afflictions they could be suffering from. And there's another one, first degree confusion. Unable to use special abilities. So you guys, I mean, the game is girthy. It's very, very easy stuff. There's nothing really complex about this game. But this is spiritual warfare. And so your hero, if they have this affliction, they cannot use special abilities. And treasure chest deck, 30 unique treasure chests in the game, the ultimate in risk and reward. And I know Daniel from the Dungeon Dive loved this, and many other people do. I came up with some very interesting things that your heroes could find in the treasure chest deck. It could be good, could be middle road, it could be very bad, it could be very good. You'll never know. So we'll take a look at that. And last but not least, mining. Your heroes are going to need a pickaxe to mine the mining sites. And actually use one of these clips, because on the reverse side, I wanted to have it degrade, because your heroes are pounding on the ground with a pickaxe. So it's a real simple thing where you roll a d12, and there's a chance that this could degrade. So you're going to move it down, and then the blacksmith has to sharpen your pickaxe to use again for a cost of 100 gold. Guys, and I think that's it for this. Oh, look, there was that one token. There it is right there. Okay, so listen, this is going to be part 1, and here's all this stuff here. What we're going to do is I'm going to unwrap this, and I think when you come back, you're just going to see everything in stacks. I'm not going to definitely take these things out. We took a look at that, so we'll just take a look at the cards, hero cards, all that jazz. And then that'll wrap up this video, and then we'll get ready for the Slayer of the Realm. That's going to probably be, that might be like a 3-parter, but we'll have fun in the process. Okay, guys, so let's fade out with this. Give me a second. I'm going to be back. I'm going to unwrap all this, put it all into the decks, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Have a good day, and I'll get that up ASAP with part 2 of the unboxing of the Crusader of the Realm. Okay, guys, sit tight, and I'll be talking to you soon. Bye-bye.